we can do a
Okay,
normal
you know what?
one,
I like this one, so I'm gonna start with that one. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Sounds
hold
good.
on. My dogs are barking already, so let me just go grab them.
Bark,
Okay.
bark, 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 bark. Don't worry, I speak dog. You may go when you're ready.
Okay, well, sorry, my mind blanked considering I always start my videos with "Hey, yo, it's Lano," and this isn't a Lane video.
How many?
You'd still say that.
This is episode 16. How have we not figured out intro?
You know how many videos of my own I've done since then?
That's fair.
All right, I got the intro. You guys ready?
All right,
Okay, go for it, Goose.
Hi guys, I'm Goose. Welcome back to the podcast where they talk to me.
That's exactly right.
Yay!
Yes.
All right, perfect. We got it.
All right. All right, we're going to start things off today with some of the fan questions from the Craftworks fan Discord, which you can find the link to that Discord down in the description below.
Go do
You
it.
should, yes, you should totally join. If you do, you get to see, well, who is joining us for the next episode before we even start recording, because you get to ask questions. Yeah, that's right. You get to ask questions.
You personally, he's looking directly at you.
Yeah,
That's right.
I don't know where you're at. I don't know where the camera's at.
I'm F5'd right now, and I don't know where the camera's at, so it just is
I
what it
love
is.
how you're at 5. We're not using your footage.
Yeah, I know. It's a force of habit when I monologue, okay? All right. So anyway, into the questions. We're going to start with this first one from Kat.
Yay! Hi, Kat.
And
Hi, Kat.
one of the questions that she asks, and I'm kind of interested in this. I don't know if you'll have an answer, but maybe you will. She asks, are there any common mistakes you see new Minecraft builders make when it comes to color palette choices and how they can avoid them?
Ooh.
Okay. First off, I'm excited that I'm the one that got to sleep that night.
No! I'm betrayed.
In terms of palettes, mistakes that they... Okay, so first off, no. I don't notice mistakes because it is such a subjective thing.
Mhm.
I think the closest that I could say to common mistakes is people tend to stick with color palettes that they see other places, or they think of it as, well, that's not even a mistake. No, not really.
And Deep Slate.
Hey.
No, spruce. You know what? Spruce and deep slate is great because they look really good together.
They do.
Exactly.
It's a very common one. It's like oak and cobblestone and mossy cobble. They get used a lot because they look good.
Yeah.
I would say, I guess some advice that I would give if you're starting out looking for colors is one, like we talked about in episode 1, look at the blocks as the entire color rather than the material.
Mhm.
Use a color wheel and use like the tools that you have, like be like, like, okay, a triadic color combo or complementary, things like that. And because even if you're just doing like triadic color combo, which is a triangle in the color wheel, there's tons of different blocks that you can pick that will fit with one triad. So if you're doing, I'm going to embarrass myself and not be able to visualize a color wheel and think of a triad. If you're doing like blue, lime, green, and orange, I don't know if that's a triad or not. There's a lot of different blue blocks. There's a lot of different lime green blocks, and there's a lot of different orange blocks. So really try out each one and mix and match them to see how you want to do it.
It was a triangle of sorts. I can see it in my
Yeah.
head.
I can see it.
It was close. Yeah, I
It's
don't
like
know
an
if maybe.
obtuse triangle.
Yeah, it works.
Okay, well, she also asks if you could design a completely new block with unique colors, what would it look like?
Okay, I am actually kind of actively trying to find someone to help me do this. I really want to be able to have a block that I guess it would have to be a display entity and not just a block, because there's a bunch of coding reasons about this. But I want to be able to have a block that you can place down and then have a color selector wheel and just select what color that block is going to be.
Oh.
So you can already do that with display entities. I use it in the last video I did with the stickers that Ron on my Discord made, where you can put down a single surface and change that to any color that's an RGB value. But I want to find a way where I can do that with a block. I don't know how that's going to happen because resource packs don't directly interact with like block texture colors.
Yeah.
So it would have to be a display entity as a block. So I don't know. But that's what I would do. If we're talking about single color block, I want.
Squid Patrol. We need a theme song.
For the Squid
Just every
Patrol.
time the squid starts trying to beach itself, and
Yeah.
we just come to the rescue. There's just a song that plays.
I want something that bridges blue and violet.
Ooh, like
That'd
an
be
indigo
cool.
block?
Yeah.
Kind of like that. I want something that has both of those in it. So kind of like how warped wood logs
Oh.
have the blue, but I'm thinking more in the sense of like how andesite is kind of blue leaning with like a little like flecks of yellow.
Mhm.
I would love something that is kind of like blackstone with some flecks of blue in it. I think that would be really cool.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Interesting. Yeah, we don't have too many like blue-black blocks. A lot of them have purple in them.
Yeah.
Which I guess
Also-
makes sense because they have to be in the weather. They would have to be more warm-toned.
That's true. And it would
Yeah.
there's a whole lot of reasons. But
Yeah.
I would also love a block that changes based on day and night. Which I think the
You mean like a daylight sensor?
yeah, but like a block's like the colors of it change, which kind of happens I think with the creaking heart
The
block.
flowers too, yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't actually played in a pale garden yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, me
Well,
neither.
That does open the door to more daytime, nighttime situations. Sure.
It does. Hmm.
That can be the word I want to use for that.
Situations.
Situations. I get myself
I
in a lot of
also-
situations. Sorry.
I would like to point out that I just seen on your community tab on YouTube that you just discovered that Prismarine changes colors.
Okay. Like 2 days ago, I had no idea that Prismarine changed colors. I feel like it might have been something that I previously knew and then totally forgot about because I don't know if I've ever used Prismarine in a build before. But yeah, I was building with Wreckjaw and I was doing something out of Prismarine and he was like, "Oh yeah, the one where you have to time your screenshots." And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" He's like, "It changes colors." Yeah, so that was very cool to learn.
Yeah, I learned that this season as well. Whenever I started doing the Guardian farm, and that was kind of trippy. And how I demonstrated it on stream last week was I took one of the mini blocks, like
Oh, that's
we have the
right.
mod here on the server where you can take the blocks and you can turn them into the micro blocks. And I did that with Prismarine, and the Prismarine micro blocks, each space on the cube, like each wall or whatever, each
Face.
side, face. That's the word. Yes, that.
Yeah.
Each
I am
face.
a cube. I know what it means.
Yes. Each face has a different color that the Prismarine changes to.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can actually see which ones,
Mm-hmm.
That's how I demonstrated it. And chat was just absolutely bewildered at the fact that this happened.
I feel like I knew that, like back in my watching Minecraft days, and then promptly forgot about it until I saw the mini block.
That's how I feel too. I feel like I used to know it, but maybe I
Yeah.
didn't. Maybe I just never knew.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool thing, honestly. It just makes it hard to build with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, on to the next question. Whiffs asks, what are your favorite shows, books, and specifically your favorite anime?
Okay. Overall favorite anime is probably Neon Genesis Evangelion. As
That
well as
sounds like an anime title. Sorry.
It is
That
an
does.
anime title. It's amazing. It's an absolutely amazing series. And all the remake movies were great too. I also really like the first season of Berserk. I haven't watched the remake ones after, I think it was like 87 was when the first series came out. But I love that. I love that first go at it. Was really good. Dan to Dan is awesome. I'm really enjoying Dan to Dan. Also really good manga. In terms of just manga, Dead Demon's Destruction was a shocker. That was unexpectedly one of my favorite things that I've read. And also just got an anime. I haven't finished the anime yet, but the manga is, I recommend reading the manga just because his artwork is absolutely fantastic. In terms of books, I grew up reading the Sword of Truth series, so that has a very special place in my heart. Actually, one of the tattoos on my feet is from that series. If you've read it, I have a Grace tattooed on my foot. I really like Dune. Dune was really good. Roadside Picnic was really good. That's a pretty short one. That's like a cool sci-fi one. If you played the Stalker games, like the new game Stalker that just came out, that is based off of this book. It's an old Russian book from, I want to say the 60s, but I don't know for sure. Very good. TV shows. I love Legend of Korra. I love Last Airbender and Legend of Korra both a lot, but I actually like Legend of Korra more. Which
That
I
is
think
rare.
it's
That's a
very
rare
rare.
find.
I don't
Yeah.
know anybody else who likes it more, but I do. I like it a lot more. Not a lot more. I like it more. I love Steven Universe. Also, is very dear to my heart. That's a show
Aw.
that I've watched a lot of.
That's like the one popular cartoon I haven't seen. Well, that I shouldn't say that because I also haven't watched Adventure Time and SpongeBob. So maybe I'm just not a Cartoon Network kid, apparently.
Maybe not. Adventure Time is also amazing. I love Adventure Time. Some other really good TV shows that I like. I think those are the big ones. Obviously, I loved the first like 5 seasons of Game of Thrones, 4 seasons. That was very good. Seinfeld is good. Seinfeld is a classic. That's
Seinfeld,
also a
yeah.
show that I've been watching since I was a kid.
Yep. I feel that.
In terms of movies, Lord of the Rings is the GOAT. I don't know if anything is ever going to beat the original 3. I don't even care about The Hobbit or the new ones. I haven't seen the new ones.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not going to, probably.
You don't need to.
I don't know, whatever. I love Lord of the Rings. I really like Mirror Mask. That was a movie that I grew up watching. That was a favorite of mine when I was younger. I love Pixar and Disney stuff.
Yes.
Just in
Pixar's
general.
amazing.
Yep, they're really, really good.
I could rant. You know
they're
what? I wasn't paying attention.
They're great. They're great.
I could tell you why they're great.
I know. Trust me. I know why they're great. I love animation. I'm a huge fan of animation. I think animation is massively underrated as a skill and as a medium. I, generally speaking, prefer hand-drawn animation.
Same.
But I do like 3D animation just as much,
Yeah.
depending on the movie.
I really liked Atlantis and Treasure Planet. Those like in-between movies of Disney where they were like just transitioning from 2D into 3D because the backgrounds were made with 3D rendering. But all of the anime, like all the main characters and stuff were still the 2D style.
Huh.
Yeah.
I did not know they used 3D for those. Yeah.
Yeah. Treasure Planet in particular is a really obvious example if you just look up images for that.
There's got to be. If I think of more, I'll put them in the comments. I know. I there's a lot of movies that I really, really like. Yeah, Midsummer is one of my favorites. Poor Things is one of my favorites. Yeah, I'll make a list. Was music part of that question too?
No, music was not. But I mean, I'm interested to hear
I
this.
think somebody asked. Oh, I think
right,
it's actually one of Norm's questions was.
Okay.
What kind of music do you like?
Okay. I lately have really been into hyperpop, like the past couple years. I really like hyperpop a lot, just in general. Like Glaive is awesome. Two Hollis is really good. Breakins is one of my favorites, just of all time. He kind of floated up to an S tier for me. I listen to a lot of metal. I grew up listening to a lot of metal, like middle school, high school. I was in a few metal bands. In terms of metal, Between the Buried and Me is like that's S tier for me. Let's see who else is really good.
All I'm hearing is
Bright
you need
Eyes?
to make a tier list stream here soon.
Yes.
I would love to make a tier list. I could never do that with bands though. That would be so hard.
That'd be so difficult to do.
It's all S tier.
I've been
It's
making
all ST.
you know what? Okay, I've been making a lot of playlists for everybody. I will make a playlist of like songs that like are kind of S tier for me that like mean a lot for me, and I can post that on the Discord for you guys to check it out.
One of my older sisters and I have started a habit where we make what we call our top 25 playlist. So we take like 25 songs from our liked list that we absolutely love to listen to on repeat, and whenever we hear a new one that we like, we add that to the playlist and kick another one off. So
Nice.
we
I
always
like
have
that.
like our top 25 favorite songs at our fingertips.
That's really nice. That's a good
Fun
idea.
fact: towards the beginning of me and Izzy's friendship, we did something similar.
that's
We made
right.
a playlist for each other just to share. I mean, it was 25 songs too, I think. Where
Yeah.
we were just sharing the songs that I think at that point it was just songs that meant a lot to us. It wasn't specific
Yeah.
to what was in the playlist at that time.
I
Me
remember
and
not
E just
liking
did the
yours.
same thing a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I sent
fun.
Izzy, I sent you one.
Yeah, you did.
That was a long time ago. I have one going with Mchmoo. I have one going with Sprink. I have one going with Feather. I have one going with Snarple and FDs. Yeah,
This is
I
Goose's
love
love
making
language.
playlists.
It's
I
I've
love
sat
making
around-
playlists.
I've sat around listening to Feather's music choices. Okay,
Okay.
it's interesting.
So the music that Feather actually likes is like pretty good. The music that Feather
Yeah.
shows people is all trash, but really funny.
It's all trash. Yes, 100%.
But he like made me a playlist of like, you know, like a bunch of stuff that he you know actually really likes, and it's all really good country mostly,
Yeah.
which is great.
He showed me one artist, like we were talking about Greta Van Fleet, and he showed me another artist that reminded him of them, I think. And I can't remember their name now, but I went through a rabbit hole of listening to a lot of their music because of him. So
if Feather says he likes something, it's probably good. But if Feather's like, you have to watch this, then you're going to be scarred for life.
Yeah, it's usually a really bad YouTube video that we found 10 years ago that was hilarious that I forgot about, and then he shows me again. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe.
and these are also moments that he shares with you at 2 a.m. in a Discord call.
On
Oh
stream.
yeah, I love it. I love
And then
hanging out
gets
with him.
DMCA'd.
Love you, Feather.
Okay, but yes, I will make a playlist and I'll post it in the Discord, so you guys can check it out.
Nice.
Cool.
I will try to contain myself and not post it until this video comes out.
Just another
Nice,
reason
okay.
to join the fan Discord.
Aha,
Yes.
you get my music.
Yes. All right. Well, Sunless Sky asks, what do you think is the most versatile block? I don't know that I have an answer for this, if I'm being honest with you.
I'm
The most
surprised. I think I answered it for
versatile.
you, though.
I would say probably stone. I think is the most versatile.
I could see that.
Because, as I went over in my last video, cough, cough, go check it out. Stone is the only true neutral block.
Oh.
Well, that's not true. There's a couple of them, but stone is, I think gravel might be one. But in terms of like just actual true neutral gray pixels all the way across, stone is one of the only ones. That does not come into play with like stone bricks and stuff. It's only just straight stone. I also think copper is, but that's just because we have so many different blocks and 4 colors of all of them.
We say as we stare at your copper shop.
Yeah, look at my copper shop.
I was staring
haven't
at the gravel over here, being like, no, that's too warm tone to be neutral.
I haven't restocked my copper shop basically since we built it. So I'm sorry if any of you guys keep trying to buy from it.
I haven't.
hope
I
Hey,
haven't
for a
recently.
Okay, good. I hope K-Hug is keeping it stocked up. Also wood, spruce wood. I think spruce wood, copper,
Spruce, I
and
could
stone.
see, yeah.
Yeah.
I do really like spruce because it's not exactly warm toned or cool toned, so that's pretty hard to find like a good neutral brown.
It's a good brown. I like spruce.
It is a good brown.
All right. Well, Tara also asks, what's your favorite genre, both to build in and just in general?
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm in terms of to build in, when I do structures, I think they tend to lean, I guess fantasy is the right word for it. Like the Copper Hopper is kind of steampunky, but I would still kind of consider steampunk fantasy. I wouldn't quite, but it's also kind of sci-fi. I think steampunk is a good in between of sci-fi and fantasy. I think that, but I think more so genre-wise, I tend to think a lot about shapes. So I think less about what theme I'm building in and more about like what shapes I'm building in. And then I kind of just make it based off of that. So I don't really stick to a general theme. Just in general, I love fantasy. I'm a huge fan of fantasy. Lately, I've been becoming a huge fan of sci-fi. I mean, those are both very broad, and I've liked both for a long time. I was a huge fan of D&D for a long time. I love D&D. I love Lord of the Rings. I love the like high fantasy vibes. I love like the I don't know what the word is, but the like fantasy worlds where like magic is unknowable, kind of like Lord of the Rings, where it's not just like casting spells like Harry Potter. It's like I guess that's like high fantasy versus low fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But lately I have been getting really into like grimdark sci-fi. I'm really into Warhammer right now, 40K. So I really like that in terms of sci-fi. I love Dune. I love the books. I love the movies. So those are, you know, fantasy and sci-fi. Those are the genres I like.
Yeah. I think we got that.
Yeah.
Some people qualify sci-fi under fantasy, which kind of makes sense if we're going off of like Star Wars terminology. It really depends.
It kind of does, where it's like fantasy is like things that aren't real, but like
Yeah,
it's a hard classification.
it is.
Yeah, but I do tend to like grittier things more. Oh, okay, Hug's online. I do tend to like grittier things more, although after watching Wicked, I've gotten really into Oz just in general. My wife and I have, especially her, she's gotten really into the whole Oz series. And it has developed a big appreciation for like whimsical fantasy, which is something I wasn't as into before.
I would have called your build style whimsical.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Shapes.
That being said, I really like your neighborhood you've got up there too. Even if it is like the same building, all the way down the street, just the atmosphere of it. I really
Surreal.
think is yeah.
Yeah, very Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, I
If you
love
know,
Wrinkle
you
in Time.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're down to the boatload of Norm questions that we have here.
Hi, Norm. Thanks for all the questions.
Thanks, Norm. We love you.
So
All right,
a
I'll
lot
give
of
myself
these-
like 5 seconds each, like Norm lightning round.
a lot of these have been answered already in just previous questions we had probably last episode.
Yeah.
And then some of these are silly questions that I'm just not gonna ask.
No, ask him anyway, and I'll try to answer them. If I can't, I'll just say no.
Okay, well, now that I read the last half of that one, it's not that bad. Anyway, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay.
The first one that I've got highlighted currently is your first public video on your channel was uploaded a year ago, and it's a hardcore video. Looking back on all 4 episodes, how would you compare your new UHC series, granted episode 2 just released a couple of days ago, in terms of enjoyment, learning, and challenge?
It is well, I don't know if it's more enjoyable. It is less challenging. I feel much more competent in hardcore now than I did before, especially having the world already like partially created for me. It feels a lot more relaxed, and I haven't done single player in so long. I'm starting to like get back in that mode of like I have to create interesting shots and interesting situations and editing because it's just me, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I honestly haven't done single player in a while. I think the last time I touched single player was in November. Burnout rolled around and everything, and I don't want to go back to it right now. but I also do miss that part of it too, I guess.
Yeah, it's a totally different game. Single player.
Totally different, yeah. So
I like-
another question. I'm sorry.
I like it. I like single player.
Yeah,
Well,
me
I
too.
like single player, but for me, I find the most fulfillment in Minecraft when I'm experiencing it with my friends. So that's why I'm more in Craftworks than single player.
I think I have more fun in multiplayer, but I enjoy Minecraft more single player,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's understandable.
like as a game. Yeah.
I get that.
All right, so this is another one that you may or may not have answers to or be able to answer. But he asks, what should we expect in the future for your channel? Are any plans you can spill and maybe a small hint of things to come?
Yes, I can. I got some big plans. So I am going to be continuing the interviews, color theory stuff, and all that stuff is going to keep going. I do want to start focusing a little more on my builds because I haven't been building a lot, so I've been building a lot more lately. But the big thing that is a future for my channel is I'm working on a color theory work kit that's going to be like a physical, actual kit that you can buy. That's going to be probably in 3 parts. Go through value, general color theory, and then color mixing. And I'm in the process of designing that. And if you ever want to come and check out, I'm going to be designing it on stream. So if you have feedback, you can help me design pages or, give me feedback on the lessons, stuff like that. And I'm very, very excited for that. So that's the next big thing. I want to branch more into education, into something you can hold. Like I want to branch more into like just art education and using Minecraft as a platform to teach it.
I mean, that's sick, though. I like that a lot.
I'm very excited for it. I'm
I'm
stoked
excited
about
for
it.
you,
I've been-
dude. I can
been
hear the
working on it for
smile on
months.
your face as
Oh,
you're
yeah.
talking about it. Okay, so he asks, this is a serious question. In your opinion, do you think non-polished diorite stairs are best for using as bird poop on a roof? If not, what block or blocks do you think would do better? Yes, this is an actual design/color theory question thingy.
Oh, okay. No, that's a great question. So if your roof is already made out of like another white-ish block, I think that would work pretty good. If you have a really big scale build, I think that would work really well. If it's a smaller scale build, depending on what you use to make your roof, if you have whole blocks on there instead of only stairs or like bottom slabs, I would say probably glow lichen and pale wood buttons would
Oh, I can see
probably,
that, yeah.
maybe even blackstone buttons I think would work pretty good. But large scale, yeah, I think that's a great option to use normal diorite stairs.
Okay, then. There you go, Norm. He says, I'm not a fan of lima beans due to their texture. What is your least favorite food and the reason behind it?
Least favorite food. Now I'm very, very, very not picky. I thoroughly enjoy trying new foods, and especially foods that are like people think are like weird or not great. That being said, I'm sure there's a lot of foods that I would absolutely despise. Like I don't think I would like surströmming, but I've never
I
tried
don't
it, so
even
I'm
know
not
what
going to
that
classify
is.
that. It's fermented fish in a
Oh,
can.
okay.
Yeah, it's notoriously very, very, very potent and pungent and putrid.
Yeah, I'll pass on that then.
Yeah. In terms of like food I regularly encounter that I don't like, I am not a fan of goat cheese. I'm also not a fan of lamb. I like lamb in like gyros when it's seasoned and stuff like that. But just like a lamb chop and goat cheese, they have that like gamey taste that gets in your nose.
Mm.
And it's
Very
Yeah.
metallic.
yeah, it's like a I mean, gamey is the only way I know how to describe it.
Yeah.
And I am not a fan of that. I also don't like slimy eggs, but I do love eggs, just not slimy eggs.
Is this where we should ask how he would prepare a grilled cheese?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I think it needs to be
Um,
asked.
It
there are a
has to be
lot of
asked.
ways I would prepare grilled cheese. I think depending on how I'm feeling, just throwing some
Favorite.
cheese on some bread and putting
What's
it
your
in the
favorite?
air fryer. But the best
wait,
way
what?
to prepare grilled cheese. Yeah, cheese
Wait,
on some
hold on.
bread.
What?
Put some cheese on a piece of bread and you put it in the air fryer.
Huh.
It's just like a
Okay.
toaster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
okay.
a
I've never done
toaster.
that before.
Yeah, it's just like a toaster. That's a great way to do it. I toast all my, oh, it's raining. I toast all my toast in my air fryer because I don't have a toaster. The best way though is sourdough.
Yep.
Cheddar cheese, sharp cheddar,
Yep.
as a sandwich, and with a bunch of butter, and you pretty low heat, and you just flip it over and over in a pan until it is nice and golden brown, and then put a ton of black pepper on it, like way too much black pepper. I love
Whoa.
black pepper; it's one of my favorites. And dip it in mustard.
Oh, I'm so lost.
Yeah, me too.
No, okay. My wife thought I was crazy too, but it is really
She's
good. Next
right.
time you make next
Yeah.
time you make a grilled cheese, this is how I grew up eating them. Even if you don't do the sandwich, if you just do an open face, put some cheddar cheese on a piece of sourdough, toast it, put a little bit of black pepper on it, and then dip it in yellow mustard.
That is so. I've never heard anyone pepper
Oh,
their
yeah.
sandwiches or dip them
So
in
good.
mustard.
I
Yeah.
love black pepper. As long as we're talking about foods, my favorites, I love black pepper, ginger, honey, and beets.
These are all
Like
condiments.
those-
Hey, you had me at honey.
Those four things, like they're not like foods on their own, but like those four things, I love those four things so much.
What about pickled beets?
I love pickled beets.
Okay, good. I'm back on board.
Yes. Oh yeah.
People think I'm weird for liking them, but they're so good.
They're delicious. It's just like a pickle and a beet.
They're kind of
Those are
sweet.
both great things. Yeah.
But this is also coming from the guy who eats peanut butter pickle cheese wraps.
Yeah, speaking of which, Norm wanted to know
Yeah.
if you tried that again.
I didn't try it again, but I did try it on stream, and it was way better than I thought it was going to be. Now, I think it's kind of redundant. You cannot taste the cheese at all. I don't think you really need the tortilla. I think it's just a convenient way to do the wrap, because really all you taste is pickle and peanut butter. But
that's
pickle and
true.
peanut butter was a surprisingly good combo. It wasn't like amazing, but it was like I like pickles and I like peanut butter, and it tasted like both of those things.
Weirdly enough, I have heard of people dipping pickles in peanut butter before, so that part didn't surprise me.
I don't know if you guys are big on Indian food, but there in India, pickles generally, when you like get pickles with a curry, it's a pickled mango, and it's a very, very tangy pickle, but they're pretty good. You don't eat them like a cucumber pickle, but they're really good in curry. I love food. I love cooking. We talked about
Talk
that
about
this whole
this
time.
as I'm hungry.
Aw. Does Lane need a snacky?
Nah, I'll be all right. All right. Well, he also asks, would you ever make a roof out of the cursed building technique you showcased in a short?
I wouldn't, because that takes a lot of work. But I
Yeah.
am. I've been trying. Me and Benji have had an interview set up for like a month, and every time we are about to do the interview, either like something comes up and one of us can't make it, or there was that whole issue with all the Apex servers and there was the rollbacks,
yeah.
and he lost all his stuff. But trust me, that short is coming out soon, and it's going to be all about that building technique.
Oh gosh.
I am going
Or
to
not short, that
explain
video. Yeah.
because not everyone's
yeah,
going
I'll-
to know which technique we're talking about. I don't know if I'll be able to find it again, but somebody has
I'll send it to
posted a
you.
video. Yes, thank you.
And it's Benji. Benji's the one that
Is
did
it Benji who created that? Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
I'll send you that screenshot. You can put it up on screen.
Thank you. Yes. So, Benji apparently decided that the best way to make sloped roofs in Minecraft is to line up dogs along your roof and then face them towards the middle. And it works
Yeah.
surprisingly well if you don't know that they're dogs.
What did Jittery call it? The woof roof?
The woof roof or something
The
like
woof
that.
roof?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Something
woof.
like that.
The woof.
Woof roof.
I've also seen it be done with wandering traders with their heads angled slightly up.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
Yep.
word.
Benji also will build trees out of sea turtles. That's a
Oh
good one.
no. Look, I watched Feather try to decorate trees using flying ocelots in a Pass Your Build video, and it was terrible. Did you not watch Pass the Build when I did it?
Not that
Flying
one.
ocelots?
Yes, he put ocelots like floating midair,
Like the cats?
around palm trees. Yes,
How?
Oh, okay.
like he put them around palm trees. It was so weird.
How do you
Look,
come to the conclusion that that's the best item to use?
He's
And he
probably
kept
talking to Benji.
And he kept saying, "Just let me cook."
Oh my
Let
Look,
him
word.
that whole video was just weird in general. Okay. Look, if I can get a screenshot of it, I will provide a screenshot.
Okay. Editing Izzy, have fun with that.
Yeah.
I know you're doing it last minute, but you got to put these images in.
Look, it'll be okay.
She'll be fine.
Anyway, Norm also asked, when do you think the war on overhangs will begin?
I don't know. I still really like one block overhangs.
I do too.
It's not
Yeah.
like I really appreciate B-Dub's push for the creativity and the innovation. But I really like one block overhangs. I don't think they're gonna like go anywhere cool. But who does some really cool ones? Rococo does some really cool overhangs. I also really like the flat texturing that the B-Dubs did when we were talking about that. I also really like my idea of just making the overhangs bigger and bigger and bigger until it's the whole building and everything is just a carport. But no, I'll send you a picture of Rococo's stuff too, because the stuff Rococo does is wild.
Izzy, you're
cool.
just gonna get a bunch of pictures now.
I am.
It's just a few. It's only like 3 so far.
I don't think
For
I'm even-
now.
At this point, I'm not even gonna do like the little bounce edit. I'm just gonna stick them on the screen.
That's why I do.
At
I
least
just
give it
slap
the
'em up
pop
there.
sound effect or something.
I don't even do the pop. I use the experience collection sound.
Okay, well that works. Yeah, no, the overhangs, that's a weird territory. Cause there's a lot of people that are just dead against having no overhang. Like
Are
just
you one of
leaving it
those
flat.
people?
I used to be. And let me elaborate. So it was sometime mid last year. I was experimenting a little bit with some build designs in a creative world, and I didn't know what to do with the roof. And so I tried the flat ones because I just watched some flip videos and seen him try it, and I was like, there's no way I can do this. I don't like this. And every time I tried it, I did not like it. And then I watched B-Dubs do it, and then I really liked the way he did it. And so I went and I pretty well recreated one that he did. It was very inspired by one that he had did, and I put it in my current single player world, and it's got no overhang, and that's the only no overhang build that I actually like. Any other time, no. And look, I'll be honest with you, Flip, I love his build. He's great. But anytime I've seen him do no overhangs, I think that is the ugliest thing I've ever looked at. And I think that
he's
about
coming
most,
at you, Flip.
I really don't care. But I think it has to be done right.
I think
That's
that with
pretty much it.
everything.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of no overhangs. I like I'm just looking at the building. I don't know. I just like it. But I really appreciate the sentiment of okay, something is done a lot. Let's push it and advance it and progress it. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of that mentality. I just will not be doing that with my overhangs.
2-block overhangs from here on
20
out.
blocks. Yeah.
20 blocks. Oh my gosh. Revolutionary. Everyone's going to want to try it.
All right. Well, aside from that, that one strange dapple asks if you could actually live in Minecraft for the rest of your life, would you? And my question would be, what biome and like type of build would you live in?
Okay, that comes with a lot of caveats. Am
Okay.
I alone? Can I only do the things I can do in Minecraft?
Okay. Well, we're gonna assume that you're alone,
Okay.
and we're gonna assume that you're a normal human being able to do human things.
Then no, I do not want to be alone trapped in a video game for the rest of my life.
Okay. Well,
Ideal
that's maybe
ideal
not that way.
situation. Yeah, like would I like the option to like live in a world like this? Absolutely. In terms of biomes, probably taiga. I really like taiga. There's a lot of lava in them though. I really like taiga, lush caves, and snowy beach are some of my favorite biomes.
You lost me with the snowy one. I don't like
okay.
building around snow.
I don't like either, but there's so few snowy beaches that when you come upon like a big one, it's a really cool biome. Just because it's just got a weird feeling. It's just like you're on a beach and it's snowy, and there's like some trees, but it's all sand and flat, and there's some ice. It's just a cool biome. Realistically, I would probably want to be in like a place like this, so that I don't fall in lava or freeze to death or get killed by skeletons.
Valid, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, if I had to like live in any video game, absolutely Minecraft would be the one, 100%.
Which mode?
Right.
Survival, just normal survival.
All right.
I would get bored and creative, but I also want to be able to respawn.
Yeah.
All right, and I don't know how I missed Millie's. Her questions were right at the very top. She asked, "What is his favorite builds he's done, and if he could meet one famous person, who would it be? And what is his favorite D&D character he's ever played? And hence, have him do the voice."
All right, awesome. I can do that. Okay, my favorite build I've made. Currently, my favorite build that I've like done and completed is the Copper Hopper. I'm very happy with that. That wouldn't have happened without
cool.
K-Hug. Yeah, just because of the redstone on it. I like that. Just as the build, it's like cool, but it's not my favorite. But having the functionality of the redstone really makes it one of my favorites.
Yeah.
What I think will be my favorite is the one I'm currently working on with Wreckjaw and Mchmoo. On stream. You just have to go check out my streams if you want to see what that one is. One famous person. Probably Adam Savage.
Ooh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I really like him, but I'm not one to get like starstruck at all. Like I don't know, I haven't met many celebrities, so maybe I'm wrong. But like I don't have that feeling of like, oh, I wouldn't be able to talk to them. Like it's just like, you know.
Well, I mean, they're just normal people.
Yeah, it's just another person.
You say that until you meet them.
That's what I think too. But I think with I don't know. He's a huge influence. He's someone that I really appreciate and has like been a role model for a large portion of my life, and still is. And I think we share a lot of the same mentalities. And I don't know. I think it'd be fun to talk with him. That's my answer for now. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
You got that one really quickly, so yeah, must mean something. No, Adam Savage is so cool. I think he'd be a lot of fun to talk to.
Yeah, he's great.
All right. Well, the last question that Millie had asked was, "What is his favorite D&D character he's ever played?" And it says, "Hint: have him do the voice."
Okay, so I'll just do the whole introduction of the voice. I think I actually did this voice for one of Millie's videos. Favorite would be High Inquisitor Choss, Lady Miss Lydia von Kilmansegg. Now, formerly a paladin, although in flesh I do serve the Kilmansegg family. In soul I am eternally bound to
Excuse me, where was this during our voice acting?
I told you. I asked you if you wanted me to do a voice, and you said no. It's fine.
You actually could.
But I also, oh, dude, I do tons of voices. I love doing voices for D&D. But no, his name is Choss. He's a Oathbreaker paladin. He's a follower of Bane. It was for like a lawful evil campaign that my friend DM'd. And it unfortunately did not go very long, but I love that character. Just the voice fit so well with him, and I just had such a good image of like him as a character, and I love that character. It's a character that I frequently want to revisit in a campaign. I've played him like as a villain in some of my friends' campaigns. Like they need someone to come in for a session and have a villain, I'll play him. But I really like him.
Dude, I am so jealous. I wish I could voice act. That was
Oh,
so
I love-
good, though.
That was a sick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
Dang,
love
that was
voice.
so parted from your natural voice, too.
It's a good voice.
It is.
It's like a Gandalf Sean Connery.
Yeah,
Something
that's
like
Okay,
it.
yeah,
That's
that's
definitely
yeah.
what I would have called that.
that.
And then just imagine, because like he's sick right now, and he's doing
Uh-huh.
that voice.
That's pretty cool. My voice is pretty good. I'm kind of
I
sick,
gotta
but my
fish
voice
up a
is.
water bottle. Hydration.
Oh, me too. I love D&D. I love role playing in D&D. I love doing characters. Every time I do a character, I make a miniature of them and have it printed out like twice as big, and I have them on a shelf and stuff. And I need to paint all of them. But I'll send you another picture. I'll send you a picture of Choss.
Please do.
But he was probably my favorite. My most recent one. Well, I don't know if we want to go into all my. We could go for a while talking about all my D&D characters. But yeah, he was my favorite. Yeah, he was my favorite. We'll just stick with that.
Okay, so I do have another silly one since we're talking about the voices you can make.
Okay.
Tedicus asks, "Can you do the Sonic swallows an air bubble sound from Sonic the Hedgehog?"
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Me
Okay,
neither.
I thought you might. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, all right. Ted,
Sorry,
your turn.
Tedicus. No, I'm surprised I haven't seen the Sonic movies. I usually am pretty good at staying up to date on all the new movies that have animation in them, but I've not seen the Sonic movies.
I don't know how I missed over this question earlier. Ambient Steve asks, "What are your unpopular Minecraft opinions?"
Ooh.
Okay, first off, I like Ambient Steve is a great name. I like that. My
Diorite is pink.
unpopular Minecraft opinions. That's not an opinion. It's true. It's true. I prove it in the video.
Relatively true.
No, it is true. I looked at it. It's pink. It leans pink. Okay. My unpopular Minecraft opinions.
Well, I guess while you're thinking
Or-
about that, I'll go a step further and I will ask, is there anything in particular you think they should bring to Minecraft?
Okay. That's okay. I can answer that one first. So I think that we need. I would love a cooking and gardening overhaul.
Oh, here we go. We're about to talk about the eggs
Eat
again,
the
like Melissa.
eggs. Eat the eggs.
Or at least like use them for something other than just what is it, cakes? Is that all you use them
Use
for?
the eggs.
I would love like some more stuff like that. I really like that they're adding all the variations for some of the farmable mobs, but I would
I do
love
agree with that. Yeah.
like I would love an animal update. Like I would love some more birds. I would love bird sounds. Like to have songbirds in Minecraft, that would be so cool. Even if they're just
Yeah.
like bats where they don't do anything, but just to have a bird that makes a specific sound and the sound is different for each biome and you can like get them all together and bring them back to your place and they all make different sounds.
That'd be so
I think
cool.
something like that would be really cool.
I mean,
Like
they gave us
seagulls?
parrots that can dance, so might as well have other birds.
Mhm.
Right? Yeah, we got the parrots. We should have other stuff.
Have you ever noticed? Sorry, I'm derailing again.
No, go for it.
That like almost every mob, like friendly animal mob in the game, has been a meme at one point. Because we've got like camels, foxes, axolotls, armadillos,
I don't remember any of them being memes.
parrots.
The only one that I remember being close to a meme was the fox with that song.
Yeah, they're like all of them have been a meme of some kind. Like camels, like Hump Day. The birds are just like they were
okay,
memes
okay.
because they don't have arms for a while.
Like outside of them being Minecraft memes, just those animals being memes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. I have noticed that.
Okay, cool.
I have not linked it to Minecraft, but yes, I do know what you're talking
No,
about.
they add them in the game after they've been memes
Oh.
because that's when they're popular.
Well, what animal is a meme right now? I don't know. We don't have capybaras yet.
I
That's
think the
true.
last animal that was added was the armadillo. So
Maybe because it's close to like what is it? What is it called? Not a Pygmalion. The weird little shell guys that look like they were being so polite when they with their hands together in front of them.
Oh,
I don't know how to pronounce it.
it starts with a P though.
It does.
Pangolin.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds right.
I think it's a penguin. I don't know. I would love to That's also a like a career goal. I really want to be able to interview some people that work at Mojang and art direction.
Mm-hmm.
That
That'd
would
be
be
cool,
really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I
Uh,
derailed us.
No, it's okay. Okay, unpopular opinions about Minecraft. I don't know if I have any birch is great. Birch is a good wood.
Yeah,
A
I guess
lot of
that
people
is
don't like it.
unpopular, but
Yeah,
I like
which
I give it flack, but it really is not that bad.
it's
No,
not
it's
bad.
not.
It's just it's gotta say. Now, what I will say, I am sick of starting games in birch forests. It's always in a birch forest
Yeah.
every time I start a
Yeah.
new game.
It's how we started this season.
It's like every game that I've ever started is in a birch forest, pretty much.
For me, it's in birch or it's in a snowy mountain.
See, I would love to start in like a snowy mountain or like one
I
of the
wouldn't.
weird
I
ones,
hate
like
it. I always
like
die.
Badlands or something.
I'm all over the place. I started in a desert, started in a forest. Haven't started in the middle of the ocean yet, but that'd be fun.
I have another unpopular opinion that I didn't really think of as my opinion until recently. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Cloud or with Lil Gerbs. Shout out Cloud and Lil Gerbs. Cloud interviewed me also at some point. Also, Lil Gerbs is my favorite Minecraft creator.
Aw.
They're both fantastic. Go check out their stuff. I don't even remember what the question was, but Lil Gerbs said that the end does not need an update. And I've kind of always been on the end update train. But then thinking about it, his is like it's the end. It's supposed to be empty and barren and weird and like ethereal like that. And that immediately changed my opinion about it, that I don't think there should be an end update anymore. That being said, if there was one, I'll still be excited about it because there'll be something else to do. But I like that it's just this, like almost like the backrooms. It's just this weird, endless
Liminal space.
place. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
this weird place you go for, just long enough to get some resources and then get out of there. That's the only time anybody will ever see it.
It's just it's just a weird place. Also, the warden is not that hard.
It's not if you get it cornered.
Yeah. The
Well-
Wither is the coolest boss.
Okay,
I don't
can
think
agree
that's
with that.
unpopular though. Yeah, I think that's just cool.
At least you get something good out of it. You get a beacon out of it. You don't do
Yeah.
that with anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some
Now,
other
the warden
unpopular
not being
opinions?
that hard. Look, I'm still kind of terrified of them, but it's just because every time I go in there, I'm too kitted out, and I just don't want to go back through the trouble of getting all of that if they kill me.
I'm just emotionally scarred.
Well, after Suffer series, I am now.
Uh-huh.
But running in there with Goose and Melissa this season, and just Goose full sending it at this warden, just yeeting himself at this warden, just blew my mind.
And
See,
you
if
know
you
what?
had no fear of death, then you're fine.
Mhm. I was
had
fine the whole
no-
time.
I had no realized that Goose was actually unhinged,
That was the
much
first
like
time
an
I
IRL
really,
Goose.
yeah, I think that was the first time I really kind of let that come through, and it was very enjoyable.
Oh, it was very enjoyable for myself and Melissa.
I'm sure I have some other unpopular opinions. Every animal should give you leather.
Huh.
Yeah, I can agree
I
with
just like
that.
pigs and sheep. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion.
I don't think you should get a reward for killing a dog.
I don't either, but at the same time, I mean, you get more leather from horses than you do from cows.
That's true.
Hmm
We should fix that.
No, I like that because then it's like it's kind of like a reward and punishment balance. No one
That's
wants to kill their horses, but they are better.
Proof of your villain arc right there.
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm sure. I don't know. I'm sure I have some opinions that I don't think are unpopular that I find out are.
Norm, we're going to circle back around to Norm. with
Welcome
these
back,
questions now. We're going to ask some of the sillier ones here. Now, this one not so silly, but I don't know. He asks, your videos are not only very entertaining, but also educational. You present them in a way for easy understanding to more advanced understanding. How would you feel being given the title of the Bill Nye or the Neil deGrasse Tyson of Minecraft?
See, okay. I would love that. I like the Bill Nye of Minecraft. I'm
Yeah,
like
I
okay
know-
on Neil deGrasse.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like whatever. I would much prefer being the Bill Nye of Minecraft. That's awesome. I love Bill Nye, and I often think about his impact, the impact that his videos had on me, and how I can present things that are good, solid information, but digestible regardless of your experience level or age. Yeah, I'm not a
Valid.
huge fan of Tyson though. He's okay.
All right. I will admit that I've spent a lot of time watching his Star Talk videos or whatever that I see on Facebook all the time, but that's also because I'm fascinated by space. So anything I see about space, it just captivates me right then and there.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I do love space. I love space.
Sorry. Every time one of you says like space or I love space, I can only think of Portal 2.
I was literally just about to say I also really love Portal 2. I also think about that every time I say space.
He also asks, out of all the desaturated blocks, what 3 would you use to make a build primarily in the red? Same question, but for colors yellow and then green.
Okay, so for red, I would use quartz, mushroom block. Mushroom block doesn't. Well, I don't know about mushroom block. But hold on, let me.
Stem or
I'm
brown?
not. I'm not in creative. STEM.
Okay.
I'm not in creative mode, so I can't look at all of the blocks.
Should I just temporarily put you in creative?
Oh, can you? Yeah, can you do that so I can just look through the blocks? Okay.
Yeah.
Goose is cheating. Millie, he's cheating on the server. I didn't know we had those commands installed.
Haha, see you guys. No, okay. That was weird. That felt
You
weird
get
to
back
fly
in your
around.
chair,
It feels very weird to do that in this server.
I would use quartz block, white terracotta, and if we're leaning strictly towards red, I'll throw a pale wood in there. It leans more towards pink, but I will include
forgot
that.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. For yellow, bone block, birch wood, and sandstone, probably.
I zoomed in on the sand right as you said that.
And then what was the last one for blue?
Yellow and then green was the.
For green.
We're skipping all the
Green is a
primary
lot
colors.
trickier. We don't have a lot for green.
We don't.
It would be
green.
yeah, not desaturated. Honestly, not a lot of green in general. You could make cyan terracotta work as a shadow. I would also do polished tuff, and you could do mossy stone bricks, but that might be a little more towards green than I'm thinking. Yeah, I would do mossy stone brick, polished tuff, and
Cyan terracotta for.
oh yeah. You do cyan, which cyan terracotta is close because it does lean more towards cyan, but you could make it work in green. I think
Yeah.
that was a good question. I like that one.
That was a pretty good question. Okay, back to survival you go.
Oh, okay.
We could get into more of the tech questions he asked. Basically, what keyboard, mouse, and monitors do you use?
Okay. I will have to look and find out. I'm very not concerned about the tech that I use.
When it comes to keyboard and mouse, I'm really not. But my actual PC parts and my monitors, I'm very, very picky.
As of recently.
Okay.
Well, my monitor, I was picky before, but now even more so.
I can't actually read what my mouse says. Hold on.
He's just yeeting his.
Oh no. Okay. The mouse I have is a TT Esports Commander. Just because it came with a keyboard and mouse combo that my wife got, and then my mouse died, so I use this one.
Nice.
It works. It moves the cursor whenever I need it to.
Is it wired?
And actually, it is wired.
Okay, good.
Although modern wireless, the latency is like insignificant enough. Like I'm not like a competitive shooter player.
That's
The
true.
thing I do really like about this mouse, I use mouse 4 and mouse 5 a lot, the side buttons.
Yeah, I use
It
mine a
also
lot, too.
has a button that cycles through DPI. So instead of having to like go to settings and change my sensitivity, I can just click through the button a couple times to like find a better sensitivity and like fine tune it. So I do like that.
That is cool.
My keyboard, I actually lied. I am actually very particular about my keyboard because I had, let me grab it. It's right next to me.
Show and tell? Or grab the thing and tell while it's in front of you?
Grab and tell. So I had a Logitech K350 for a very long time. And the reason I like this one so much, there's a few reasons I like it. One, it has like an extra media panel on the top. So it has like volume buttons, pause, fast forward, back up. All those things are separate buttons, which is nice instead of function buttons.
I used to have those.
It's really nice. The other thing I really like about it is it has a built-in like wrist support, and which a lot of keyboards do, but none of them are as bulky as this one. And this keyboard just died. I spilled coffee on it like a month ago. I was
Oh.
very upset. It mostly works, but like some of the numpad numbers don't work, and like the Q doesn't work or something like that. And they don't make this keyboard anymore, and I was really bummed out. And so I found the next best Logitech one that had a wrist support, and it is nothing compared to this one. I can also send you guys a picture of this if you want another picture to put up.
I can very well try.
So I have a cloth, like a rag folded up that I use for my wrist support for my new one, and it kind of bums me out that I can't use my old one anymore.
Imagine having wrist support. Dang.
Right.
Oh,
should
I
I
need
try
have
it,
one on
man.
my mouse pad, or
My
on my
joints are-
old mouse pad.
I cannot stand it at all if I don't have it.
I probably should be more concerned.
On my
Has-
old mouse pad, I use it, but now I use, not to plug it, but I have my own merch mouse pad that I use, and it doesn't have one, unfortunately. If I could get one, I would.
As far as screen, I have no idea what screens I have. But the one on my right is the Samsung that I like, and the one on the left, Korui, I think, is what it says.
I've heard
and
of
it was
that.
it was probably just fairly inexpensive. They both have wildly different color profiles, which drives me crazy.
Ah.
Yeah.
And I also don't have wrist support for my right hand, so I use a sketchbook. I always put an old sketchbook under my right wrist, and as I move it around, it kind of rubs the pages and they kind of start falling out. And so I rip the page out and I throw it away once it does. And I've almost gone through 100 pages of this sketchbook.
Oh, wow.
What a supportive sketchbook.
You know, I'm picky on my gear nowadays, specifically being my monitors and the PC parts. But now I kind of have to be with my keyboard, because on my laptop, which everything prior to this podcast was done on that the keyboard was so quiet, like it never got picked up unless I was slamming my hands down on that keyboard. And every other keyboard that I've tried since then, my microphone picks it up, except for this cheap little one that I got from Walmart the other day, just because I couldn't stand the clackiness of the expensive one I just bought.
Yeah, people really like the clacky for some.
They
I like
do.
how it sounds, but I don't want it to be picked up in my mic. But I do
Well,
like the ceramic
that's my problem.
keycaps. Ooh, yeah.
So I as of like 1 o'clock this morning, I shouldn't have been up that late looking through this, but I just ordered a new keyboard, like the Keychron K5 Max, whatever it is. It's a low profile one that's meant to be super quiet. So I'm hoping that I can have a high-end keyboard that's doesn't feel like plastic and will do the job. So
I'm just laughing over here. One of these days, I'm going to do a setup tour, and I'm going to shock some people with my setup.
Like, because it's really nice or really bad. Oh, I got a name tag.
nice.
I am still rocking a laptop with a single monitor.
I mean, if it works, it works.
It
Yeah.
does. Yeah, I have no
Yeah.
reason to get a PC right now, and I don't think I will until I've moved.
Do you at least have room for a second monitor to make life a little easier?
I could, but I don't know what I would do with it. I don't know what I would use it for. I don't know
So,
what you use it for.
Well, for me, I have OBS open on that, Discord's open on that 24/7 when I'm streaming. I have YouTube Studio up over there, OBS, and my streamer bot, so I can read chats in real time, not what the YouTube latency has, and everything else. Like, this has made my life so much easier. In terms
yeah,
of
I-
everything I do.
Can't imagine having one monitor again.
All right,
couldn't.
noted.
It's really nice once you have it.
You mentioned the color theories on your monitors being different. This reminded me of kind of a funny fun fact about my laptop. When I transitioned from my old Dell laptop, which was on a bookcase below me, that's why I leaned away from the mic, it has a different color theory than this really high-end gaming laptop, which I'm using now, to the point where like I couldn't see shades of purple, and it really bothered me. So I went and looked to see if I could up the saturation, but ended up just changing the color filter on this laptop to the red-green colorblind function, and the colors are perfect now.
Oh, weird.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, mine are not great. So my left monitor has a much more saturated color profile, and my right monitor is much like crisper and sharper. But the left one is like marketed as like a gamer monitor, which I hate. Like, I hate gamer chairs, I hate gamer keyboards, I hate gamer monitors,
Yeah.
because they try to add on all this additional stuff to like make it this like special thing exclusively for gaming, but in reality it just puts a bunch of settings on that you can't change. Like Beats headphones, I really don't like
Oh,
Beats
yeah.
headphones because they have a bass boost that you can't turn off. And I'm like,
Oh.
I don't want to hear everything bass boosted. I want to hear the music how it's intended to be. So like that being said, that's why it's so much more saturated. It's like extra saturated. It's extra bright. But I prefer my right one. It's just because it's just a normal like office monitor.
I have Beats alternative options for you if you need them.
Oh, I never use them. I just use my headphones. Oh, I have Raycons now, just because I got them as a gift, and they're okay. They're cheap. They're not.
I love
like,
my
great,
Raycons.
but yeah, they've lasted a really long time.
We all just
but
need a
they're not
Raycon
like-
ad right now.
I'll say they're good, but I'll also say that there is no current Bluetooth headset on the market that is lossless quality. So if you want like really good quality, you have to use wired headphones. So I have a pair of Audio Technicas that I've had for 10 years, and they are fantastic. That's what I'm using right now. That is the one piece of gear that I get very particular about is my audio stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think is just a holdover from my days doing audio stuff. But I have I wanted to get a Shure SM58 for my mic, but they're more expensive than I could justify. I am a
Absolutely.
big fan of using a dynamic mic, not a condenser. I know a lot of podcast mics are condensers. And I currently have a Samsung Q2, which is it's like $100, fantastic alternative. So if you're looking for a mic out there, it's I think that even on like with the arm on Amazon, I often see them for like $60, but it's a good mic.
I've heard good things about that.
Well, now you've heard more.
Nice.
Name tag.
Nice. Well,
I've got 8 of them now.
Oh, nice.
I'm still on 4.
I have 16.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. You overachiever, you.
You can sit in this chair next time. Well, next time is gonna. Oh,
I just got
17 now.
another one.
Winning at life.
Lane, you were explaining something earlier, and I apologize. I forgot what you were explaining because halfway through you explaining it, I was looking at Izzy, and she fished up a name tag, and I got distracted.
It was while he was fishing in my spot too.
You know, it's all good because I don't remember what I was explaining when that happened either. So we'll learn when we rewatch this podcast.
We'll rewatch it,
Yeah.
and we'll just see a funny little clip of us laughing over here while you're talking.
Yep, exactly.
I laugh a lot while Lane is talking. Usually it's because something's actually funny. Anyway, that looks like we're almost done. So, Goose, we have one more question for you.
Okay.
If you had to say anything to the viewers today, advice, questions for them, likelihood of you ever coming out with your own paint line, I don't know. What would you want to tell them? Floor's all yours.
Subscribe to my Patreon. No, that's not what I would say.
Do you have
That's
one?
true. Actually, no, I do. Yeah, I have a Patreon. Come on.
Sorry, it's been a while.
No, it's fine. Okay, if I had anything that I wanted to say to you guys, some of the best advice that I got was from a painter named Vincent Desiderio, who's a very good painter, and I recommend going and checking out his stuff. Content warning he does very heavy paintings, but absolutely amazing artist, amazing writer, and really recommend listening to a podcast with him. Very, very good to listen to, especially if you're pursuing any sort of artistic endeavor. But some of the best advice I ever got was from him, and he was asked, what advice do you have for people that are going into a new field that they feel like maybe they aren't ready for, or it's very overwhelming or intimidating? And he said, bite off way more than you can chew and chew it for a very long time. And that is something that I think about all the time, where there is a point where you just have to dive into something and immerse yourself in it. And it doesn't mean that just fail your way through it, but mistakes are essential to learning, especially when you're pursuing any sort of creative or artistic pursuit. You have to make mistakes. They are vital to any sort of progress. And to not be scared of that it is totally part of the process. And you can take a long time to chew the bite that you take off. And there's a lot of stuff that you can learn when you really go slow and take your time with things. There's another really great quote that I forgot who said it. I believe a Chinese philosopher from a very long time ago. But it's from one thing, learn 10,000 things. And that is a philosophy that I apply to everything that I try to do, where you can really focus in on one thing and learn everything you can about it. But the most important thing is to take what you learn from that one thing into the next thing. And you will start finding connections between things that you never thought there would be connections between. And it will help cement those things in your mind and help you learn, help you practice, help you learn, help you progress. And I think it's a very beneficial mindset to have if you are if you're in a creative pursuit, or if you're not, really just with anything you do. Learn everything you can from one thing, take your time with it, and bring what you learn into the next thing, even if you don't think they're related.
Solid advice. I've never really thought about it like that.
Can confirm that art really does bring a whole lot more different skills than just creativity to the table.
So much. So many things: problem solving and patience and perseverance and observation and patience.
Patience, yeah.
And perseverance and dedication and persevering and being patient. No,
Giving
that's
yourself
that
grace.
that's a huge thing too. Like, please let yourself mess up all the time. Mess up everything you do over and over and over. You will learn from those things. There's, especially in drawing practice, there's I'll really dive into this. I'm gonna go off on this. I'm actually really excited about this. So one of the books that I use to learn drawing is called The Natural Way to Draw by Nicolaides. And a huge part of the first section of this book is about very fast exercises, like 30 seconds, draw this figure. They're gesture drawings, so they're supposed to be quick and like scribbles and stuff. But it is not about perfecting proportions. It is not about perfecting line. In that specific instance with gesture drawing, it's about capturing the movement and the gesture, which you ideally want to be able to do with like just a few lines in a few seconds. But one of the things is that you have to make a mistake, X amount of times. I don't know. He says like 1,000. I don't know what the number is, but you have to make a mistake 1,000 times before you learn what you can learn from it. And if you try to go slow and you're too timid of making mistakes, then it takes longer to learn things. So like, get yourself in a safe position where you can make mistakes and make as many as you can as fast as you can, and you will learn so much from it. Something I think about a lot is when I first started learning how to paint, I was with one of my painting teachers at a workshop, and we were all kind of working on one piece together, just like in our spare time. We were all painting on this, and we were doing ink, and it's India ink. So you have the India ink and you mix it with water, and then you dip your brush in it. And we each had a little thing, and I put like a tiny drop of ink in my water, and I'm mixing it together, and I work very timidly and very gradual, and I'll do like 10 layers of ink that's really, really thin instead of just doing one that's, a little bit more saturated. And as I'm sitting there like doing this, he just kind of reaches it over and puts a huge like 10 drops from the bottle in my little thing, like it's nothing, and then starts using it. And it was things like that where it's like, just push past it, like push past the timidness and experiment and make mistakes and learn from that and go from there. And that's my advice. Do it in all aspects of your life.
Well, I'm inspired. How about you, Lane?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Good
job.
Thanks.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Goose. It's been a pleasure and an honor.
Thank you. I'm glad you guys had me here. I love talking about myself. No, I really I do love that. But I also I really enjoy sitting down and talking with people and just like having conversations. I think it's something that we don't do enough. Yeah, getting to know people.
Yeah.
I think interview questions are a great way to get to know someone. So like,
yeah, it's a good way to get to know yourself too.
That too. Even like the first time you meet someone, I think it might have been you and E on the first day of Craftworks asked everybody what their go-to snack and drink at a gas station is.
Oh, yep, that was us.
Yeah, I use that all the time when I'm talking to people now. All the time.
We stole that from Dude Perfect, but yeah.
Well, there you go. It's a great thing because it's something that you don't really think about, but it's something that everybody kind of has. They all have their favorite snack and drink. Mm-hmm.
It's just a lighthearted question to just get things started.
Yeah.
And now we'll never know because we're out of time.
I'll never know. Bye, guys.
Thank you all. See you next time. Bye.
Bye, y'all.